Hello and welcome back to Cryptollennium. As we finish up 2022, we'll take a look at the final events in the crypto market that are wrapping up this year. So without further ado, please like and subscribe and let's dig in. As you can see, Bitcoin is relatively in the same place that it has been for the last few weeks, showing signs of support, so that's technically a good thing, but we won't bank on it staying upright due to the macro conditions. If you've managed to keep up with our videos, you've probably noticed that we've closely followed the FTX SBF situation. So some quick updates for SBF today. His first tweet since being bailed out in regards to this article. Alameda wallets become active days after SBF bail, community moles foul play. And he says, none of these are me. I'm not and couldn't be moving any of those funds. I don't have access to them anymore. Or does he? He continues on to say, I believe it's likely the case that various legit legs of FTX have the ability to access these funds. Hopefully that's what's happening here. If not, hopefully one steps in soon to do so. I would be happy to help advise regulators on this if they wanted. A nice offer, but I believe regulators probably don't want advice from him anymore. So what are the details of this transfer? Well, the funds from Alameda wallets raised community curiosity, but more than that, the way in which these funds were transferred grabbed the community's attention. So the Alameda wallet was found to be swapping bits of ERC20s for Ether and Tether. And then the ETH and USDT were funneled through instant exchangers and mixers. A mixer would be something that you would use to create some sort of anonymity to the funds, thus decreasing the success of those funds being tracked. As an example of what we're seeing above, a wallet address that starts with 64E9 received over 600 ETH from wallets that belong to Alameda. Part of it was swapped out to USDT, while the other part of the transaction was sent to ChangeNow. Later on, an on-chain analyst noted that the Alameda wallet was eventually swapping funds for Bitcoin. Many speculated that the pattern in which these funds are being swapped looks like an exploiter, but given Bankman-Fried's known criminal past now, many speculated it could be an insider job to take out whatever is left in those wallets. And this is a good point. This could be somebody, an opportunistic somebody, waiting for Bankman-Fried or Sam to get out of jail, be bailed out before making his next move, thus framing SBF. Or it could be SBF doing it with a plan to use that narrative as justification of him not doing it. The thing with this situation is, if this was all legit, why would the person be using a mixer? The fact that that's being used leads me to believe that this is not a legit operation that's happening. Something that you might not be aware of. Bahamas Securities Commission has $3.5 billion of FTX digital assets in custody. And this was done because the Security Commission determined that there was significant risk of imminent dissipation if they stayed under FTX's control. The commission said late Thursday. Something interesting, and I haven't heard much about today, Bithumb's largest shareholder dies by suicide. Vice President of Vident, biggest shareholder of cryptocurrency exchange Bithumb, has been discovered dead. The prosecution was looking into allegations that the executive had stolen money from Bithumb affiliates. According to the police, it happened early morning of the 30th, about 4 o'clock a.m. Another high-profile crypto executive is dead. Now focusing on Bitcoin a little bit, on-chain metrics signal upcoming Bitcoin volatility. Futures open interest and estimated leverage ratio reached the highest levels for over a month. This indicates upcoming Bitcoin volatility according to Glassnode data analyzed by CryptoSlate. So the futures open interest metric reflects the US dollar value of the total amount of funds allocated in open futures contracts. The chart right here describes the Bitcoin futures open interest on a daily basis since October 17th. As of December 30th, the metric exceeded over 500,000 Bitcoin, marking its highest level for over a month. The futures estimated leverage ratio is a metric that represents the ratio between the open interest in futures contracts and the balance of the corresponding exchange. And the estimated leverage ratio fell as low as 0.3 on December 5th after the FTX collapse. However, it quickly started to recover after December 12th. The ratio nearly increased by around 10% in 20 days to see a 0.34 on December 30th. Binance liquidations, in addition to metrics signaling potential volatility, data from Binance indicates that Binance will contribute to the price swings. We take a look here. A short liquidations cluster has formed in Binance between the prices of 16,650 and 16,940. The current Bitcoin price lingers around 16,547 at the time of writing, only $100 away from entering the cluster zone. So if we enter this cluster zone, many shorts will be liquidated and volatility will be seen. Seeing the caliber of FTX is like a Mt. Gox or worse. This is something that is for the history books. And when you think of this, keep in mind that these historical events tend to correspond with bottoms in Bitcoin. With that said, Bitcoin usually bottoms many months before your favorite altcoins and the entire rest of the crypto market, because as Bitcoin begins to recover, its dominance increases. And as its dominance increases and the money supply is still not increasing fast enough for the recovery rate, the money will come from your favorite altcoins and those will reach their bottoms. Adding on to the potential volatility, KuCoin undelegates 48 billion Terra Classic. Is there a dump incoming? The Terra Classic validator KuCoin has reduced its voting power down to 0.21% and is ranked 44th on the validator list. While no additional details are available on the reason behind the huge amount of Luna Classic being undelegated, the community believes a dump may be coming soon. Some think the exchange might burn the Luna Classic tokens, which would be absolutely marvelous for the community itself. However, KuCoin released no announcement related to a single undelegation event. Therefore, it's most likely part of the centralized exchange fund's restructure. Something more beneficial to the crypto market, Binance integrates Apple Pay and Google Pay. And this may not seem like a big deal to you, but because Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange by client count, and this tremendously increases convenience, you could see an uptick in crypto purchases just based off of ease. Another awesome development and one of my favorites, Cardano staking arrives on iOS devices via Trust Wallet. An extremely complementary solution given the times that we're in with centralized exchanges. And before we close, a macro update. Everything bubble bursts, the worst year for US stocks and bonds since 1932. While crypto markets have taken a bashing in 2022, it hasn't exactly been rosy for US stocks, bonds, and real estate either. What's crazy about 1932 is this is around the time of the Great Depression, which started in 1929. Keep that in mind. US bonds experiencing the worst year in centuries, US stocks pulling back nearly 20% since the beginning of 22. And as of November 30th, a Financial Times report noted that a traditional portfolio consisting of 60% stocks, 40% bonds will have seen its worst performance since 1932, when the US was in the midst of the Great Depression. Meanwhile, tech stocks, which some theorize have a correlation with cryptocurrency prices, haven't had a great year either, much worse than just 20%. Tech stocks recorded an average loss of about 35% for the year. Told tech giants such as Netflix, Meta, Zoom, Spotify, Tesla have all had particularly difficult years as well, with their share prices falling in the range of 51 to 70%. So these stock and sector declines may help put the current crypto winter in better perspective, noting that total crypto market cap fell from 2.25 trillion to 798 billion throughout the year, representing a drop of about 64.5%. And we can attribute this to our favorite players of the year, bankruptcies of FTX, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, as well as Terra and others. With this said, if you are still here, the pain is temporary, but the gains can be life-changing. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.